people, welcome once again to HN Clothing. Please excuse my crusty voice. I think the whole Christmas celebration got me feeling kind of sick, so I'm just trying to recover, and I just have to make this video out here because this has been a video request long coming, so I'll just want to take them all in one video since all of them are about corsets. So please pardon my crusty voice and let's get right into today's tutorial. So in today's video we're going to be learning how to insert a sleeve in a corset, and corsets that has straps and also corsets with a yoke. So we're going to be looking at those three categories of sewing corsets. Corsets where we can insert a sleeve, where it's like an off-shoulder bustier with a sleeve. Then we have corsets with straps only, or even you can still attach a sleeve to it, it's dependent on you. Then corsets with yoke, with or without sleeve. If this is what you'll be interested in seeing, please do keep on watching, and yeah, let's get right into today's video. Alright, so guys, we've been able to get our basic bodice pattern. I have my front and my back as well. So we'll be starting with the front, and what we're going to be doing is creating the base for the styles, because every one of these things they all have a corset. So be it the one with the yoke, be it the one with just straps, or be it the one with the sleeve alone, you need your corset already. I have 2 videos already on how to make a corset. So if you already know how to go about making a corset, you can skip this part, but I'll just go over making a corset again. And why I'm even taking this again, because the last video I made some corrections, and I'll just love to effect the corrections here. First of all, I think I want to start with determining the space between your bra, like when you wear a bra, that space there between the 2 cups. So I want to determine the space between the 2 cups, and I wouldn't want mine to be more than 1 inch. So that means since this is a half scale pattern, I'll be doing 1/2 inch on both sides. So that's the first thing we have done there. We have determined the space between the cups. Okay, so the next thing I want us to do is, the last time I found out that my dart here, it wasn't centralized. So what I want to do is I want to move my darts so that it is centralized. I didn't like the fact that it was just, the darts was closer to the center front. I would want it to be in the middle. So for us to centralize our darts, that means to make our darts go through, that's the corset, the lines on the corset, pass through that nipple point. You'll have to measure your nipple to nipple measurement. So you take it on your body with your bra, of course, and you measure that nipple to nipple measurement, and mine is 8 inches. I just did my measurement now. Half of 8 inches is 4 inches. So I'm going to come from this line, this red line we have drawn, and measure 4 inches, which is just about there. So now, since I have this, I'm going to transfer the space of the dart I have here. I'm going to transfer it here. You can move your darts around. Your dart is it's not rigid. It can move. So I'm going to mark it in between that nipple point. And I'll just draw the line down. So I've drawn my new dart. I've moved this dart to this point. Let me move it, please. So it will still follow that straight line, which is about here for me. I hope you see what I'm doing. Then I'll move this dart to meet up with this point here. Let's measure what we have on that dart there. So we have about 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. So I'll move my darts. And I'm going to measure 1.5 inches from here. Okay, and draw my new darts to that point. So guys, like I said, your darts are not rigid, your darts can move. I hope this did not confuse you. I just want my corset line, that's the cup on the corset, to be centralized, go along that nipple point. That's why I'm moving the darts. But if you find out that your dart is right on your nipple point, then you have no need to do all of these things. I mean, you can skip this step. The next thing to do is to determine where you want your corset to begin. So from there, your neck point, your MP here, measure how low you want to go. So I think I'll go up to about 8 inches this time. So I think I'll just go 8 inches now. So that will be my corset line. Then I'll just increase this dart to that line. Especially since we are doing different variations, okay? So if you had an eraser, or if you had used a pencil, you can clean these black lines, because what you'll be using now are the red lines, okay? So now, next thing to do is to tighten this chest line. First things first, I want the cup to really come out well. So I'm going to take 1 inch towards the side. Can you see now? We are taking 1 inch away, eating into the bodice. So that means at the end of the day, whatever I do, I have to replace this 1 inch that I've eaten into the bodice on this side. If not, it's going to affect the armhole, because by the time you sew it, you have taken extra fabric, extra pattern, extra bodice that you are not supposed to touch. You have touched it. Then this thing, instead of it to sit on your armhole, it will just go in pram, and all this your armpit and flesh that is here will be showing. Okay, so that's why I made mention of that in the last video. I don't know if some of you got it. Someone said, oh, why did I have to do that? That is why I did that. So I'm just going over it again. Now that I've taken 1 inch here, you can decide to take, even if it's 1/4 inch or whatever, or not even anything there. This part is kind of negligible. Then draw your new darts. So now we have increased the chest dart, and this will give us a very fitted, voluptuous, well, words fail me now. So it's going to give you a very fitted corset, like the one that the cup is gege. So that's what we have done now. And whatever I've taken here, don't worry, I'm going to replace it back on the armhole. If not, if you do not do that, if you skip that step, your corset armhole will have issues, okay? So the next thing to do is measure from your neck point, from your neck, from your shoulder. You measure down to where the cups end. That's where your bra should sit, where the corset should sit, and I already explained how to take that measurement. For me, that's about 13.5 inches, which is here. So now the next thing to do is go into tighten here. Just tighten this place by like 1/2 inch. Okay, and yeah, come out here, draw your diagonal of 1 inch, and draw your cup for this part. Let that diagonal. Before that, you can increase this waist dart, increase your bust dart first of all, so that it's going below the bust line. So I hope you can see this line. Okay, and now this is the curve for the 1 inch from that point, because your cups are curved like I always say. So you draw let it touch that 1 inch. Then the next one is, remember that your side seam, you're coming out to 2 inches out. So on your side seam, come out 2 inches, roll a line 2 inches, and also don't forget to come out by 1.5 inch on this part. So that's what you have here, and you can cut it out. So this is my corset base. Alright guys, so this is my corset base, okay? So here I have my yoke. This is going to be the yoke. This part that we cut away will be the yoke. So what I'm going to do now is to put my paper here, okay? I'm actually putting that paper there because of the, let's just let everything sit well, because of that 1 inch we removed earlier, okay? So I'm going to put it because it's going to affect everything on this side. So let me use a paper tape to hold it down so that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so we have held everything down like so. So you can see what I mean. I hope you can see what I mean. See that white thing that we removed? We removed like 1/4 inch extra aside our darts that the bodice can take. The bodice cannot just manufacture that 1/4 inch that you cut away in the process of tightening the scope. The body will not manufacture it. The bodice or your pattern will not so you have to put it back along this line here. You have to put back that 1/4 inch, which for me is here. Let me use this blue marker because my red spills, I don't know why. So which for me is here. That is the 1/4 that we removed from that point. And you have to try to blend it in to the armhole. You have to blend it in. Okay, so either you use a pencil or something, just blend it in the best way you know you can. Blend it in so that it's not too, it has to blend back to the shoulder points. Okay, so then from there blend it back to this point. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let me use my marker now to go over it. So I blended it in from here. I blended it in to pass through that point, sorry. Yeah, so that's what I did to blend it in. Now I can cut this out. Now I can cut through to give me a good corset. I cut it up. Just cut it in a straight line. Okay, don't worry, when we sew it, it's going to be perfect. So now for you to work on your yoke, this dart, you close it up. So now I'll also trim this part here because it's not on a straight line. So now that you have this, you can now decide how you want your yoke to be. Your yoke could be an illusion, like tulle, mesh fabric. So you cut the neck you want, if it's a round neck, if it's a square neck, if it's whatever neck, if it's an altar neck, you can cut the neck you want to cut on this pattern. Once you have done sewing the main fabric, before you attach your lining, you put your neck and you join it. I did something like this when I was doing this corset gown with keyhole neckline. You can check it out to see how to sew. I have a separate video for sewing. I have a separate video for drafting, so you can check those ones out. So this one is just to explain that it's not as difficult as you think, guys, because if I keep sewing each of those requests individually, that means it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time, so I had to take it all up at one place here. Remember, for the sleeve, sew everything you need to sew, then you attach your sleeve normal. So if it's a sleeve that will go over the shoulder, fine, take your full sleeve, put it there, cut it out, attach it normal. Bishop, I have different sleeve patterns, you can check it out, it's going to help you. And if it's a strap, you just want a strap, you can just measure it on your body, or better still, you use this pattern to measure out the strap. If you just want the strap to be like this, you just measure it out like so. You could say, oh, I want my strap to be 3 inches wide or 2 inches wide, and you measure it out like this. You cut it out and you fix it in, sew it to the back pattern, and you're good to go. If you want your strap to imitate like an halter neckline, so from here, let it come up to this point, like what we have here. And here it's just a normal, it's a normal strap, it's not doing much. Okay, so you can just put it this way from here, and you just attach it to imitate an halter neckline, because this strap has like a collar. So you draw it like this, then you measure it out like this, like how wide you want it to be, that kind of thing. So it's going this way. So this one, you're cutting it on the bias, not on a straight line. I hope this is helping you. So that is for a strap. Then if you're not doing a strap, you want to do like a proper neck, like a yoke, full everything, depending on you. If you want your neck high up, like the top I'm wearing, if you want it high up, you just do your normal 3 by 3 inches on the neckline. Let's do that. At least let's even do that so that you have a clear picture of what I'm saying. So 3 by 3 inches on the neckline, and yeah, you measure it. And you cut it out. So if you want there to still be like a bishop collar, a high collar, you go ahead and do it. So this is what you just cut for your neckline and put it here. It's going to fit, it's going to look super good. Okay, so yeah, that's about it, guys. That's about it. So this is for the front. This is with a yoke, this is without a yoke. Then finally, let's just look at the back. What do you do? All right, so this is us looking at the back corset pattern. So on your back corset, I have my back line, I have this line as well, and I have my dart here. Okay, so first things first, you can try to measure and determine where you want your back to start from. So if your back is up here, you want it to get to like maybe 9 inches on the back before your corset will start. You measure it there and you draw your 9 inches line, which is here for me. So that's where my back will start. Remember, I said if you're doing a main corset, whatever that, not whatever, it shouldn't be more than 1 inch. Don't remove more than 1 inch because it will be too tight. So I'll just draw my line here. If your back measurement was, your back dart was like 2 inches, it will be a lot to remove all the 2 inches from here. Okay, and if you wanted more dart at the back, all you need to do is split this dart into 2. So you can take half of this dart here, half of another dart here. Okay, so but this is fine, you can just leave it for one dart. So once you cut this one out, okay, let me cut this out. Okay, so this is my back. If I was doing a corset with just the sleeve, that's no any yoke, or corset with a strap, then this is all I need for the back. Then this is all I'll be needing for the front. I hope you are digging it. You are digging it. So this would be the back here, and this would be the front. Okay, no, this would be, yeah. So that armhole with that armhole, whatever armhole size you have there, you can go ahead to fix your sleeve. It's going to sit well. And this is if you are doing with a sleeve. If you are doing with a strap, this is all you need. If you are going to be doing with a strap, you use this one to measure what you have from here to here. If you want your strap to be by the side seam, if you want your strap to be centralized, you can measure it out on your pattern, or you just measure on the body, cut whatever you have there, fix it as a strap like all we have here. So this is the back. It's going to work for corset with a sleeve, corset with a strap. This will work for it. Okay, then the next one will be corset with a yoke. We have explained corset with the front yoke, which we have here. Depending on the kind of neckline you want on the yoke, you can go all about, you can do whatever you want to do for it. Just be creative, think about it, and just visualize it and do it. Now this will now be the corset yoke for the back. For the back, you can go ahead to leave it as simple as it is. You can go ahead to cut whatever kind of style design you have in mind. Okay, you can do whatever you want to do. It's actually going to work for the back. Then just join it up like how we joined it at the other part, and it worked. So that's what you do. Okay, but mind you, because we took out a lot here, when you'll be joining this part, you may need to put in more so that it matches up, or you just trim it out. Okay, you can see when you join this, let's imagine that we join it together. That's the zip, this is the part. So you see this part poking out. So I would advise you either trim, you can trim it, or when you're cutting, you leave excess so that it matches up. Whichever one works for you. If you trim it, I think it's not going to affect. It's not going to affect, even if you're going to put a sleeve at the end of the day. Okay, that's for a yoke. So it's simple. It's simple, guys. I've explained corset with a yoke. I've explained corset, and you know the bottom part. Most times, corset is just for the upper part. It's just like your bra. But yeah, even if you want to do a corset with a straight gown, like a straight gown, then a cup on the straight gown, okay, that's only when you can decide that, oh, okay, oh, yeah, there's no joining on the waistline, but it's still the same process. It's still the same process, guys. I think I'm already talking too much. So whichever one you want me to sew, now that I have the pattern, whichever one you want me to sew, let me know below. I'll do that. I actually have one of those styles that I think I want to try out. I want to sew it. Okay, and I'm gonna be using this pattern that I've drafted. So whichever one you want me to sew, let me know. I will be sure to do it for you. Yeah, it's that easy. Let me see, is there any other thing I'm missing out? Oh yeah, I think I'm missing out doing a corset if there's no zip. Doing a corset without a zip. Okay, that one too is also easy. Let me see, should I use the same pattern? You know that here there's a 1-inch allowance for zip. So what you can do is remove that allowance for zip and replace it with a strap. Okay, maybe I'll try that one out. One of the things I'm going to be doing. So instead of putting a zip there, you remove it. You can even do this if you are using a yoke. So I'll just let me see, 1 inch, 1 inch. I'll remove that 1 inch allowance. But if you want some other skin to show, you can still remove another 1 inch or ½ inch depending on you. So that way at least some sexiness on the back is showing. When you remove like 0.5 inch or 1 inch extra, then you can put either eyelets or you put straps so that you can tighten that part up. I hope you dig, I hope you are digging what I'm saying. So you can measure another one instead of it to just be this normal zip. This is your normal zip line, that's that 1 inch. But for some extra sexiness of the back to show, you need to take out another 1 inch, a zip allowance included. Just take out 1 inch, take out 1 inch, so that at the end of the day you have 2 inches, and that's how you even be able to snatch the waist of yourself or your client. Let me draw this. So all these ones are excluded. They're off, you just cut it out. So that's the one that you'll be joining here. Put your bold in there, and here will be your eyelets where you drag and tighten up everything. So now I hope you see what I mean. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like this. Even if you put your yoke, it's still going to work. If you put your yoke, so this is all the parts that I'll be showing here. That's if you want it to be more true. If you don't want it to be more, do 0.5 inch. See all the part I'll be showing here. And that's where you would have put your eyelet strap and use a rope or whatever to tighten the back on that part to use as a tightening. Okay, so that's for using 1 inch out. If you want 0.5 inch, so it's going to be like this. It won't be that much. Can you see? It's not so much. This one is not so much compared to that 1 inch. Okay, so I think you get the gist of all these things I've said. I know you still want to see them, but it's still the same thing. I have videos on how to sew corsets, so it's going to help you whichever way you want it to help you. Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna sew. I will sew this particular one. I like this one, and it's been a long time request, so I'll sew that one. So yes, that is about it, guys. Yes, I am tired and weak. I just had to make this video. Feeling kind of sick as well. I'll try to sew this particular one. Yeah, I hope this video was informative and it helped further to understand. I hope I didn't muddle it up. I hope so. Let me know in the comment section below. And yes, that is about it for this video. If you did enjoy it, as usual, do not forget to give me a huge thumbs up. Also subscribe if you are yet to. I love you all so very much. God bless you all, and see you in my next tutorial. Yeah, so the next one is going to be sewing up this one. Okay, and yeah, that's it, guys. Have a happy new year and see you in our next video. Bye.